What is up, pretty people? Precious popping in for this tutorial. Okay, let's get right to it. I am pushing back my cuticles with my cuticle pusher. I already filed my free edge and buffed the top of my nails, so I did that off camera, so you're not going to see me do that in this video, but I'm showing you guys the cuticle bit that I use in my Melody Susie, I think it's called Scarlet nail drill. This is what I use to file off my cuticles and really make them super duper clean so that I don't have any lifting and we don't experience any problems with that. I did not dehydrate and prime my nails in this video because I just do my nails so much now because I record it. I just don't want to have to keep putting so much pressure on my nails, trying to remove the artificial nails just to put artificial nails back on and do it week after week. It's just too much on my nails. So I decided not to prep and dehydrate my nails in this video, but of course I have to do clean cuticles because it makes your set just look so much better, okay? And I love cleaning my cuticles. I love the dust. I love it all. It's really satisfying to me. So I'm using this bit to clean out my cuticles, and then I'm going to use my small ball bit to clean the skin. I think it's called the eponychium, if I'm getting, okay, if we're talking anatomically, it's called the eponychium. I think, y'all correct me if I'm wrong. And I'm using this ball bit to just clean that part of my skin off. It's not painful at all. I'm not taking off any live tissue. I'm just focusing it on the parts of my cuticle that are already lifting and dead and want to come off, okay? Y'all definitely don't use me as a guide to clean your cuticles. I am not good at cleaning my cuticles. I'm not even gonna hold you. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm not that good. I'm still learning, and I do cut myself sometimes. I mean, it's part of the process of learning how to do nails. Okay, we're using dual forms today, honey. So I'm just showing you guys that my dual forms are fitting from sidewall to sidewall. However, I do recommend that when you use dual forms, you should size up, like just a little bit bigger than, like, you can see that mine fit from sidewall to sidewall, but I should have gone a little bigger because when you put product inside the dual forms, it's not going to fit as snugly to your nail bed. So it's going to lift a little bit. And that's the problem that I had when I was doing this set, is that my dual forms were suddenly not fitting properly when I had product in them. But it makes sense because if you put product, it's going to lift a little bit and it's not going to fit that tightly to your nail. But you guys are going to see how I fixed it as we go on. So now I am just creating my own colored polygel. This is such a clutch trick that I saw someone on YouTube did it. I will link her video down below if I can find it. She literally was like, yeah, just mix your gel polish with your polygel and create your own colors. You don't have to go and buy a bunch of different colored polygel just to get the colors you want. And this was, I don't want to say it was a perfect trick. It worked well for the design that I was doing. I only needed a little bit because only little parts of my nail were going to be colored. But if I needed to use this colored polygel all over my nail, I would have struggled so much because the gel polish really changed the consistency of this polygel. You guys can see in the video, when it's sitting on the plate untouched by the gel color, it's very thick, it's not runny or anything, but once I mix it with the color, it just turns very liquidy, and it was a little bit difficult to work with. I was able to make it work, but it is just something to watch out for when you do this mix. Your polygel, especially if you put a little bit too much gel polish, it's just going to make your polygel super hard to work with. Most of the gel polish colors I'm using I got from Amazon. Actually, all of them I got from Amazon. One of them, the yellow, is a BEETLES gel polish, but the other four are MODELONES, as you can see on this bottle. They're bomb, super pretty. It is more of a like trial size. The MODELONES are a smaller bottle, but the BEETLES gel polish are full size bottles. So here we're going into our white polygel, y'all. My favorite polygel. This Yayoge white is so easy to work with. Oh, it's a dream, child. It is a dream. So personally, I like to squeeze my polygel directly into my dual forms or directly onto my tip. I don't really use the spatula feature that comes with the brush, but it is helpful for people who I don't know, who feel better or feel more comfortable using the spatula. It is there for you, but I prefer to squeeze it directly into the dual form. Again, just using a patting motion to push the polygel into place, and then you're going to see that I use the brush end to form my, I guess you could call it angle, my angular tip, and then I use the spatula to really sharpen it and clean out any white polygel that you can see overlapping with my colored polygel. Okay, now the exciting part. I'm starting out with pink. There were a few air bubbles, so I just twirled it around to make sure that those did not transfer onto my dual form. And I'm just trying to pack the colored polygel directly into the space that I've left for it without really needing to actually use my brush to form it into place. And you guys can see how liquidy it is. Like, it is sticking to my spatula, and that's because of the gel polish that I put in it. But I was able to make it super precise. Honestly, I didn't use this is the first time I'm using my brush to even really touch it. And you guys can see how hesitant I am to even move it around too much because I was scared it was going to get stuck to my brush. So now here's where some of the frustration kicked in. I'm applying the dual form and I'm noticing that my side walls are not being covered, and I'm pushing it down, which is causing the product to spill out and giving me some areas of non-opacity. I don't know if that's a proper term for it, but some areas on the sides of my nails weren't covered with product because I was squeezing the product out of the dual form trying to cover my entire nail. And so I was just creating my own problems, and I was able to fix it, but do as I say, not as I do. Honestly, do not squeeze the dual form so that the product squishes out. It just causes more issues for you. Also, just size up with your dual form, just one size up, not super big, but just a little bit. So in order to fix the areas on my nail that are kind of see-through, you can see the color of my nail bed underneath, I'm simply putting a little bit more white polygel on that area. I'm just going to pat it into place and then cure it and then file it down. That's it. Oh, also, I forgot to mention that I cured these polygel nails for 60 seconds each finger. I go finger by finger just because, you know, the dual forms, they move around. You can do a flash cure and then just do all your nails and then do a full cure at the end, but I prefer to just full cure them each one by one just so that I don't have any issues later on. So I'm just patting the product into place. I'm going to cure the nail and then I'm going to file it down at the very end when I file the rest of my nails. So I'm going to do the exact same thing that I did to my thumb. To all of my other nails, I'm going to fill my dual form, create my angle, pat it into place, and then get my colored polygel to fill in that space I have left. And then I'm just going to cure them onto my nail. I also applied, I forgot to mention again, that I did apply base coat onto my fingers one by one and cured the base coat for 30 seconds and then applied my dual forms and cured them onto my nails. See this right here, what I'm doing? Yeah, don't do that. Don't don't push your dual form that far down. Just get a bigger size. At least with this one, I tried to clean up the sides a little bit. The other ones, I didn't even bother. I was over it. I was just like, I'll just file it off. I'll file my cuticles all off if I have to at the very end. Don't do that because you'll hurt yourself. And if you try and do that on somebody else, you're going to hurt your client. So just saying. But these are my fingers, so I can do what I want. Okay, all of my fingers are cured. I left the the dual forms on my last 3 nails because I don't know, some people like to see you peel them off, so I just wanted to give whoever wanted to watch that a little bit of satisfaction. As y'all can see on all of my nails, I have a little bit of my nail bed peeping through, so I'm going to do exactly what I did to my thumb. I'm just going to squeeze a little bit of white polygel onto each of my nails and just fill in those spots that have a little bit of brown peeping through, and then I'm going to cure it, and then we're going to file it, and it's going to look good. So this is where I fixed all of that cuticle overflow that I brought onto myself. I'm using my file to just essentially file it all off. I'm trying not to actually file on my cuticle. I'm trying to hold the file just above my cuticle so that I'm not actually peeling away at my cuticle, which is already kind of sensitive because I cleaned it. So I'm trying not to put too much pressure on it, but I'm filing all of that product off. You can use an e-file to do this as well, but because I'm not as comfortable with an e-file as I am with a hand file, I just decided to hand file it all off. And it really did not take long at all. This maybe took me 10 minutes to file this all down, and it came out super duper good. I mean, just my cuticles look just as good as somebody who may have e-filed it off, in my humble opinion. So I had no issue with doing it. And now I'm giving y'all a little bit of before and after action. This was before filing. Look at that. Look at that. And I haven't shaped or anything. This is just clean cuticles. Now I've shaped my nails. I shaped them off camera because y'all know, I told you on the last video, I take forever to file. I file for forever, and then sometimes I file too much and I have to add product back on, and then I file it back off. You know, I'm just very particular about my filing. So I used a little bit of acetone to wipe off the sticky layer. So now my nails, I should have kept these nails matte, low key. Anyways, I'm using my builder gel to, one, add some structure, a little bit of strength to the nail, and also to adhere the gems I'm going to be putting on. I'm adding some cuticle crystals to my thumb, and I'm going to put some single crystals onto all the rest of my nails. Decided only to put one crystal on the rest of my nails rather than all the cuticle crystals. I'm only going to show you my pointer finger, then I'm going to go straight into buffing my nails, getting rid of any scratches or unevenness, just anything that could be sitting on top of my nails. I'm buffing it to get rid of it, and then I'm going to top coat this thing, y'all. Look at these nails. Oh my gosh, I love these so much, and it was so much better for me to mix the color, to mix the gel polish with the polygel, because I don't have a steady hand. Like, I'm not a nail art person with like those tiny meticulous brushes, because my hands are not steady enough to do that. So I loved that I was able to mold this and get a super sharp line without having to rely on my shaky fingers. Okay, y'all, this is my shape. Last week, you know, the short square, it's cute for a time, but this is timeless. This will always make my hands look so good. Is this coffin? This is coffin, right? Ballerina is more pointy, or is it opposite? Is coffin more pointy and ballerina is a little wider? I'm not sure. We're gonna go in with my favorite cuticle oil. Smells like lavender, and it just gives me the feels. And we're going to glamatize our nails. Okay, we need to get them picture ready. We need to get them ready for the photo op that's about to happen after this. I love this set. It came out so much better. Honestly, y'all, I was doing this on a whim. I wasn't even sure what this set was about to be. And then it created itself, honestly. Look at that. Look at it. But anyways, y'all, thank you so much for tuning in to another one of my tutorials and listening to me ramble. I hope I see you next week. Bye.